Welcome to the C-Suite, where we are helping women to create choices in their careers. I'm Danielle Deshaw. On our first segment, if you or your small business are looking to expand your reach into grabbing new audiences, our first guest is going to be great for you. Eva Shortt is the owner and CEO of Zahav PR agency, and she's going to be talking to us about the benefits about having PR representation for you as an entrepreneur or a small business. Welcome, Eva, to the show.
Thank you so much for having me on.
PR, it seems like this really kind of glamorous and exciting kind of role, but a lot of times, a lot of people don't even know what PR truly is. So can you share what PR is and how is it that you help your clients?
That's right. So actually, PR is different from marketing. A lot of people confuse PR with marketing. And the way I like to explain it is that marketing is paid advertising, it's paid media. And public relations is actually earned media. So you're kind of gaining the trust of your audience through publicity opportunities. Marketing is more focused on advertising and getting paid ads, click-through ads, and PR is more just about getting the journalists on board.
Mm-hmm. And why would PR be important for either an entrepreneur or a small business?
You're essentially earning the trust of the public through publicity and media opportunities. So, if a major network comes to your place of work and interviews you about your store because it has an interesting story, it's kind of important to get that as seen on tag on your portfolio because it brings a level of trust between a consumer and a brand that makes people feel good about.
Mm-hmm. And what are some examples that entrepreneurs or small businesses they could use PR for maybe small or large things that they could do to increase their visibility?
So I think if you're going to say right now, if you want to start today and start increasing your visibility, right now, the best and most cost-effective thing that you can do is to start working on your online presence. I love and I also specialize in working with Instagram because I find it the best tool for storytelling. It's such a visual tool and you could do so much with it. So some easy things that you can do on Instagram right now are to use hashtags. If you include hashtags as part of your content strategy, you actually make yourself more searchable. And so if you use a combination of branded product and community hashtags, you really kind of you're setting yourself up for success. And you can actually do a Google search to just find like the most popular hashtags in your field and just add them to your posts.
Nice. And we actually had a question from a viewer around PR, and it really is, at what point in the growth of their business or their status should they think about reaching out and getting PR representation?
So I think the best time to reach out is when you really want to kind of elevate your brand and kind of share it with the world. So you're ready to get your story out there and bring it in front of the masses.
And what excites you about being really a PR agent and being able to help others to increase the exposure of their business?
I truly have a passion for and helping people, especially women-led businesses, get exposure. I think it's kind of like a field that nobody really knows too much about, but once you get to that point and I get a media hit or any sort of website visibility for somebody, I get really excited about that. It's like I'm getting it for myself. It's super exciting.
And what was your journey to becoming a PR agent? Was it something you went to school for, or just something that kind of has been along your own career journey?
So actually, it's something that just kind of came up in my own career journey. So I went to school for social work and I have an undergrad in anthropology. So when you really think about it, I guess it's kind of related to public relations in that, you're working with people and you're understanding people and how and what interests them and what drives them. But I don't have a communications background. And I started a company a couple of years ago where I was doing self-care for moms. And I learned through that experience that I love connecting people and I love bringing attention to and elevating other people's businesses and shining a light on women-led products and women-led brands. And that's just sort of led and kind of brought me into this career of it snowballed into public relations.
Mhm. And what are some of the fears that you're, potentially seeing in clients before they sign on with you around really putting themselves out there and reaching into those different markets?
Some of the fears you said?
Yes.
I think people are a little bit camera shy. I think people are a little bit nervous about getting themselves out there. I think that that's and how do I do it? And just kind of it's a fear of the unknown, really. And I think once I start to explain to people a little bit about what public relations is, it kind of opens them up to and they're more relaxed to chat about it.
Mhm. And that was my next question was kind of how do you help your clients to kind of overcome those fears, especially getting on camera, because that's a really big one.
It is. It is. And it's just it's practice. And I do media training and I help clients work through interviews and realize that, journalists in 99.9% of the time are not out there to trip you up. They're really there to just get a good story. And it's really all about the power of storytelling. And once clients understand that and they're able to tell their story better, then it's a lot, it becomes a more comfortable journey for them.
Mhm. It sounds like, really finding that right PR representation is all about, it's about a relationship. There has to be a lot of trust because the PR, your representative, is representing you and your brand. So if someone is looking to start looking at how they can start exploring and getting someone to be their PR representation, what are some things that, people should be looking for?
So I think it has to be a perfect fit. I mean, I take on clients that I love, people that I'm passionate about, stories that I'm passionate about. And if you feel that click with somebody, then I think they'd be a good fit for you. So for me, women-led businesses and brands are my number one passion, and I love working with that field. Also, look to see what areas that where have they published their stories? Do they have big networks, smaller networks? Maybe you want to be in a local market. Maybe that's where your audience is. So really kind of try to understand what market you want to target.
Mhm. Thank you so much, Eva, for being here today, talking about really the benefits and the idea of building this relationship with a PR agent, really to help you build and expand your business.
Absolutely.